Am I the a-hole for banning my wife's friend from my house after she pushed me for taking my drunk wife home? My wife is 27 and I am 28. My wife has a friend, a bit of a close friend. In fact, she's been friends with her for the past 2 years. I don't like her at all, and a lot of people find her insufferable. This weekend, my wife told me that she's going to her friend's house, and she'll spend her evening and night at her place with their 2 other friends. I asked her if they'll drink. She told me yes, but she won't go overboard this time, and she'll book a cab and come home before 10. I told my wife that she won't book a cab, I'll come pick her up, and she shouldn't drink a lot. She promised me she won't. But I had this feeling that she might drink too much, because my wife has a tendency to overdrink, especially when she's excited and partying, so I went to pick her up an hour before. When I showed up at her friend's place, I saw all these drunk women dancing, drinking, and screaming like they ran out of a mental asylum, and my wife was laying on the couch clearly drunk. I grabbed my wife and told her it's time to leave. Her friend stopped me and insisted to let my wife stay for a bit longer, and even my wife said to wait for a bit. I told them that they've been having fun and drinking for so many hours, and it's more than enough for today. When I tried to leave with my wife, her friend tried to stop me a bit forcefully, and when I didn't listen to her, she pushed me and called me controlling and cursed me in front of everyone. I told her that the only reason I am not retaliating is because she's a woman and I'm in her house. But from this moment, she's not allowed in my house, and if she comes over to my house ever again, I'll call the police. I left with my wife, and after we got home, I fed her, which she puked at midnight, and went to sleep with me, and she didn't sleep until midnight and didn't let me sleep either, and kept saying my husband, and hugged me, and she kept complimenting me. I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy that. But anyway, now her friends, all of them are telling me that I'm being a controlling husband, and I have no right to tell my wife what she can and she can't do, and I don't have the right to ban her friend from her house. Am I the a-hole? Sure, I'm a bit angry, but my anger is not without a reason, and if I appear as a controlling husband, I think my wife's situation warrants it, and I'm just doing what I think is best for my wife. AITA has no consensus bot. OOP received mixed reactions. Relevant comments. OOP responds to multiple comments about him being controlling his wife's drinking and social habits. OOP downvoted. How often do I control my wife's drinking habits? As often as I can. I don't want her to die of alcohol poisoning or something when we are still so damn young. I'm not her father, I'm her husband, and if it makes me a controlling husband just because I'm making sure my wife doesn't overdrink and trying to save the life of the person I love the most, then I'll gladly accept that I'm the most controlling husband on this planet alive. But dramatic, right? I feel the same way when I see my wife wasted, so if she can't control her drinking, then I'll do it on her behalf. I'm not sure how old you are, or if you are okay with your loved ones ruining their life, but I think alcohol is a real problem, at least what I think. Not sure about you. Commenter 1, we need more. What did your wife have to say the next day when the hangover passed and she learned all that happened? OOP. My wife didn't remember exactly what happened. My wife agreed with me when I told her that her friend is no longer allowed in my house. Her question to me was that if she was really that drunk. I just said yes, and I told her that I'm not letting her get drunk like this ever again. She didn't meet or go over to her friend's house after that weekend, and she didn't drink more than a shot a day. I see improvement, and she is guilty, so I'm taking it slow with her and letting her think for herself. It's actually so stupid and concerning that most of the Redditors here are saying that I'm controlling, but do not understand my wife's drinking habits. I know my wife has a problem with alcohol, and I hope and pray to God that my wife would be just as controlling and do whatever needs to be done to help me escape my addiction if I ask, as in her stead. My wife is addicted, and her friends are encouraging her instead of helping her stop. Do these commenters have any experience of what it's like to live with an alcoholic? To clean puke at midnight? It's not in me to just give up on my love and find someone else. I would rather try my best to help my wife than just divorcing her and leave her on her own. I love her more than anything else, and if I have to become a controlling husband, I will, as long as she stops getting drunk like this. I will do whatever it takes to help her with her alcoholism, and if it makes me an abuser or controlling husband, then I'm okay with that. As long as my wife is healthy and lead a good life without alcohol. I'm losing my mind by just reading these comments. Commenter 2, Inte. You weren't controlling, you were looking out for your wife's safety. She was too drunk to make good decisions, and you made sure she got home safely. Her friend pushing you and cursing at you was completely out of line. You have every right to ban someone from your house if they treat you with disrespect. Your wife's friends can be mad all they want, but they weren't the ones who had to take care of her all night. OOP. I'm just concerned about my wife and her safety and our lives. I don't care about anything else. I know my wife and I know how much she drinks, and I'm trying to do what's best for her. I'm not sure what these Redditors are thinking. They think I'm controlling every action of my wife. Like she has to ask for my permission for everything she has to do. No, but when it comes to alcohol, my wife clearly can't handle it, and take care of herself, so as her husband, I'll do what must be done. It's addiction and my wife is having problem with it. My wife loves me and that's why she's with me. God forbid a spouse tries to put a stop to intoxication and takes care of their spouse when they are intoxicated. Update. 9 days later. First off, I want to thank everyone for their helpful advice, and I didn't even realize that my post blew up that I got 6K comments on my post. I stopped reading and started focusing on my wife and her health instead. When I logged back, I read a lot of comments. Obviously, I couldn't go through them all, so to clarify, yes, when it comes to drinking, I'm a bit controlling. I keep my eyes on her and make sure she doesn't overdrink, and I won't let her grab a cab when she's drunk. I'm not sure why some people were upset that I didn't let my drunk wife grab a cab alone back home and picked her up instead. Even if I am at work and if she calls me, I'll leave work and go drive her home. It's not codependency. I'm just taking care of my wife when she's vulnerable. If she's sober, I obviously have no need to go through all this. I'm not her father. I'm her husband, and I feel like it's my responsibility to help and take care of her when she's drunk. I told my wife that she's been drinking way too much. The amount of alcohol she consumes during social events is obnoxious, and even on a daily basis. I told her that after I brought her back from her friend's home, she drank only a shot a day when I was present, but when I wasn't with her, did she drink even more? I would never know. I told her that I want to help her and don't want to lose her, but I also don't want to clean her puke off the floor all the time, and your friends actually encourage you to drink more instead of stopping you. When I tried to pick you up like I always do, your friend pushed me. She said she didn't realize that she was causing me so much trouble and she's going to stop drinking. I told her that drinking is fine as long as it's occasional and in moderation. Since then, my wife didn't drink much. She drank yesterday after almost a week, but didn't go overboard, and she said she'll seek counselor and seek medical treatment if she can't control herself. Am I controlling? Yes, I guess, but only when it comes to alcohol. Even I didn't realize that my wife is getting addicted or already got addicted, and like others commented that I can't forcefully help my wife, and she'll start blaming me, etc. I still don't want to give up on my love. I love her, and I know she loves me. She confesses her love to me in even more embarrassing way than just hugging me and repeating my husband. I'm not a professional, but I'm currently making my wife exercise and make sure she takes enough multivitamins. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. She said she didn't realize that she was causing me so much trouble and she's going to stop drinking. I told her that drinking is fine as long as it's occasional and in moderation. I don't think you're understanding how alcoholism works. Occasional and in moderation doesn't exist for addicts. Their issue is that they can't stop after 1 to 2. They either don't drink or they drink until they black out or pass out. I appreciate you not wanting to be controlling, but in this case, it's absolutely okay to say no alcohol, period. It'd be better for her. OOP. I hate to say it, but not being able to stop oneself sounds so much like what my wife does. Commenter 2. We don't know enough to say this is what she does though. I think the person with her every day is much better at making a judgment. She definitely has an issue with alcohol, but I would hold up on claiming she is already addicted. Some people just never learn that you don't have to go from 0 to 100 every time, especially when they first start drinking. It also does not help if you're partying with friends who also do the same. OOP. For now, my wife went for days without alcohol, and I felt like she's not a full-blown addict like other alcoholics. She told me that she would seek professional help if she failed to control herself from drinking. Now I don't know if she drank behind my back and kept it hidden from me. Maybe I should tell her to seek counseling anyway to find out what's bothering her and why she's drinking, just to be safe. OOP responds to clarify the facts on taking care of his wife like a father, not her husband. OOP. I didn't write this post after so many days because people called me the a-hole, and I don't care if online strangers think I'm an a-hole and hate me cause at the end of the day neither of us know each other, and for me the only thing that matters is my wife and her alcohol problem. I didn't mention the details about my wife and her alcohol relation because my post was about her friend and banning her because she pushed me. I did, however, talk about it in replies. But after reading multiple women sharing their experience similar to my wife, I started focusing on my wife instead. And no, I'm not taking care of my wife like her dad. I'm taking care of my wife like she's sick, because this unhealthy lifestyle is sickness, at least in my eyes. If I'm sick and struggling with substances, I pray to God my wife will take care of me and baby me until I recover. As a partner, it's your responsibility to help your partner when they are sick. Maybe you don't agree with that, and that's okay, but I will make sure to do whatever is necessary to keep my wife healthy and safe. And yeah, you are right about controlling part. I agree I'm controlling when it comes to alcohol. I would rather be a bit controlling than lose her forever.